Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to another exciting Cooking with Denoy episode. Yeah. For tonight, we are going to be having calf liver with onion and white rice. See, I just finished cooking up the rice. And for those of you wondering how I cook the rice, I show it a lot in previous episodes, so I went and cut out all that out today. We're going to be dealing mostly with the calf liver and frying that up on the little heater element here. While I'm getting ready to do this, I thought I'd point out this onion stock thingy here that a viewer had questions about. Essentially, you just buy like they were wondering how I started with this stuff. Well, look at the roots down there. The roots have entangled themselves. So what you do is you just buy, you go into any like store, like even Walmart, Thrifty, or wherever, even Publix, and you can buy onions. They sell them in packs where they have the onions, and it has like the bulb on the bottom. They don't even have to be organic. But then you just buy that and put it in water, and then and I just use sink water here. I just put in a little bit more water because it's been using the water. And it'll grow on its own. Here you can see I have a couple broken ones, which I will probably break off today and use to eat. So you can see how I cut off some of it right there. And what that'll do is just keep growing. And as it grows, look how tall it is. It grows pretty fast. It grows almost like 2 or 3 inches a day, each day. So I'll cut off some more, and then it'll just keep growing, and then I can keep reusing the same onion over and over until it doesn't grow, and then just get some more new ones. So it's a good way to save money. You can get some free onion, and well, it's not really free, but you can stretch out your dollar. I think it costs like $1.50 for a pack of those onions, and I'm able to eat them for a long time by just letting it grow over and over and over. And I'm planning on doing that with some pepper plants and stuff. I try to grow and have that. So hopefully we will be seeing some of that soon, depending on what happens here with my situation. If you've been following the videos in order, then you know that I'm actually looking at right now trying to have to survive in the RV off-grid. Right now we're still on the grid, and I have 1 more month, roughly. But I am in process of prepping the RV to be self-contained. But that means probably no air conditioning unless I get a generator, and even then I won't be able to run it all the time. So, but we'll deal with that in other episodes. For now, we're going to deal with the cooking. It is calf liver that I just bought from Walmart. It is frozen solid because I had it in the freezer, and I kind of wet it and ran water over it here to soften it a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and try to cook it up. Probably cook up 2 slices, I think, and then try to save the other 2. And what I'm going to be putting on it is just basically the same stuff I put on all my food. Minced onion. Like, why are you going to use minced onion when you're also using fresh onion? And Badia Complete. Well, I just like throwing minced onion on everything. So it just makes it easier for me to cook. I use the same seasoning, Badia Complete, which I'm sure has onion in it. So it's dehydrated vegetable, garlic, and onion. So there's onion in here, more onion here, and more onion here. So this is an onion triple play meal. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get it started. The rice is already done. I have turned off the air conditioning so I can run the heater element here. I think this is like probably 1200 or 1600 watts. And you have to shut off the air conditioning because that pulls a lot of wattage also, and it'll blow the circuit breaker. So I'm going to try to cut this open and begin the process of cooking. Sorry about that noise. I haven't figured out how to turn off the notification while I'm filming, which I probably will go ahead and do here in my next video, or before I do my next video, because it keeps popping up. Let me go ahead and get my little assistant. For those of you who are wondering what it is that's holding everything up and wobbling, it is this pink thing right here. And yes, I know it is a mess here. I'm cleaning. I'm trying to get things organized and get done while I film and everything else. So we're going to go ahead and mount this here, and hopefully it'll be good enough to see the cooking, and you can see me working. So stay tuned. Now, I'm one of those people who don't really know how to cook. But cook, I think, good enough. You should probably let this completely thaw, but I don't do that because I'm always in a rush to cook. And I kind of like it frozen to start off with because it's a little bit more stiff and I can, you know, do things with it. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this open here. And then the other two I'm going to put into a bag to save. But for now, I think we're going to work from, let's go from behind. Yeah, I think we're going to get it from behind here. So what I'm going to do is just take my handy dandy Hessler steak knife, which I really like using the steak knife. I think it's a good size knife. It's like perfect size for cutting. So even though it's meant for steak, I use it, you know, as a general purpose kitchen knife that I use for everything. And I have this out now. So this is open, and we're going to be removing a piece here in just a moment. Yeah, look at that. Look at that liver. I normally hate liver, but every once in a while I have a craving, and like right now I do have a craving. So what I'm going to do is try to take this little guy here and hold it like that. I'm going to turn the burner on here, and you can see it didn't work because the light didn't come on. It's because I got to turn this on over here. I hit that button. It's like a little second safety. Now the power light is on, and I can turn the heating on. I turned on max. I know some women say I shouldn't cook with max heat, but I like max heat. You know, it sears the food. So I'll just take some of this Walmart Great Value vegetable oil and just coat this. Not like a huge amount, but a little bit. Okay, maybe a little bit more than a little bit, but enough to kind of coat the bottom of the frying pan. Try to get the heat to spread evenly and make sure things don't stick. And that's pretty much it. And I heat it up. I like to try to stay a little bit organized when I'm cooking. And what I do is I just put that up and put it back out of the way here. Right back there. This is what I do. I just kind of put it back there, out, back to its home. It's kind of hard to cook one-handed, which is what I'm doing right now. So pardon the jittery camera work. But we get that thing going, and I'm going to attempt to take this out one-handed. If I can here. Try to take this out of the packet. And the thing about liver, it's like really slimy. And you know what? I don't think I can do it one-handed. It's gonna basically rip apart. So I will set the camera back on the mount and attempt to remove that liver. So what we would do is clip this guy here onto the edge of the table, the edge of the counter here, not table. And I'm going to attempt to remove this, but you can see it is like frozen on there. It is frozen. So this liver is kind of bad in that it's frozen. It's like frozen. And I'm going to do this over the sink. All right, I'm making a mess here doing this. I'm going to do it over the sink because it is sliming everywhere. Liver is, if you've never felt liver, it's slimy. It's like kind of gross, really. It's like slimy and hard to deal with. But I am going to attempt to cut it here. Let me adjust our camera. I know this is not like a normal cooking episode where they edit everything out. We tend to shoot everything one shot. But I am going to try to break this liver apart and hopefully keep it together. At least two of it. And it is splitting, which I don't like that it is splitting, but okay, this liver is kind of coming apart. So I guess a tip for future reference for myself as well as others. If you like liver like this, you buy it like this in a big pack, you probably want to split it before you freeze it. Because once you freeze it, this is what you get. It's kind of hard to split it, but we got it split, and I am going to put it into the frying pan. I don't know if you can hear it sizzling right now. It is sizzling, and you're missing the coolness of the sizzle. Look at that. So it's sizzling right now, which means we need to put our flavoring on it. So the first thing I'm going to try to pour on here is our onion. And you know what? I think I'm going to turn the heat down. I'm actually going to turn the heat down. This is cooking faster than I want it to cook. We're just going to pour our minced onion and then some of our bardia. The thing about liver, it cooks very fast. Look at that. You can already smell it. Mmm. And those of you who've never cooked liver, it actually smells pretty nasty. I guess some people like the smell of liver. Me personally, I think it smells pretty bad. Okay, we're going to flip this over. And I'm going to flip this one over. Looks like I kind of messed up here. I think this kind of stuff is especially easier done with like two people. One person filming and one person trying to cook. Because it's kind of hard to do everything with one hand. And I'm going to turn the heat back up here. And of course, add our seasoning. And you know what? I was going to save the other liver, but after looking at this and seeing how hard it was to separate it and stuff, I think what I will do when I finish cooking this one and setting this aside is I will go ahead and cook the other two pieces and just save it cooked. So I can eat it later today or even tomorrow. You can see my cooking expertise is very basic. But I do love how bardia seems to bring out the flavor and everything and make everything taste good. So, if you haven't yet tried bardia, and no, I'm not being paid by the company, bardia or whatever, or anybody to promote this product, but it is really good. And you can pick this up at the Dollar Tree for $1. Yeah. You can pick it up at Walmart and other places for a little bit more than $1, but they sell slightly larger containers of it. The one at Dollar Tree is only $1. And worth it. Very much worth it. So, this is it. It's frying up. Smelling pretty good. Not really. Smells like liver. And liver has a really nasty smell. Look at that. I'll let that brown a little bit. I don't know if you saw the Hut episodes where I made the liver. I don't know if I even filmed it there, but every once in a while I get these cravings for liver, which is what's happening right now. I have this crazy craving. Now what I do need to do is cut up some onions. So let me try to get that. I'm going to try to put our little camera on the holder again. Hopefully you can see that. Move this aside a little bit to be used here later. We're gonna cook a second batch off camera later. But for now, here's my little onion. We're just gonna chop this onion up and cut rings. Basically just onion rings like that. And I will be throwing those on top of the liver here in just a moment because I think the onions, they bring out the flavor of the liver. The thing is, onion is normally kind of a little bit on the spicy side, but when you fry it, it actually softens and becomes sweet. Onion has a sweet taste to it once it gets fried, caramelized, I guess. So let me rinse everything off here, and I'm just going to show you real quick what I'm planning on doing. I just take the onions and I just throw it on here like that. And I'm going to do the same with all the other pieces. So let me just take these others here. I don't know if you can see everything from this angle. Hopefully this doesn't fall off. Camera's not wanting to mount very well. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and toss it in there because the food, you know, when you're cooking food, time is kind of important. If you take too long, like right now I'm taking a little too long trying to cut and talk and film and throw it all in there. And what's happening is the liver's getting overcooked. It's kind of bad. We're going to rinse this a little bit. I'm going to toss this in here and take our camera again so you can see what's going on. Essentially the onion is in there, the liver's kind of cooked, but I'm going to put the liver on top. It's already kind of, I like to make sure the liver's fully cooked. The thought of eating raw liver kind of grosses me out. I'm going to put the onion on top and take this onion and put it over here for now. I'm going to take this other liver and flip it to try to make sure that all the liver is cooked. Because eating raw liver to me, I guess there's people who do eat like raw liver, maybe? Raw meat? Me, I can't eat raw. I like raw vegetables and fruits, but I don't like raw meat. But there are people who believe in eating raw meat, believe it or not. So, to help soften the onion real quick, I'm going to hold the temperature or the heat in by just putting a lid on it and just letting that fry up. I might even turn the heat down a little bit because we don't want the liver being overcooked. And that's pretty much it. We'll let that cook for, I'm hoping within a few more minutes, because the liver will be done, and then I might just let the onions continue to cook. Just adjusted the heat here a little bit more. We'll leave it on high. That way I know for sure it's all cooking up. And then what I'll do is, once I'm sure that the meat is done, I will go ahead and scoop it up and put it on top of the onions and let the onions sear a little bit and prepare the serving. At least that's the plan. As the onion continues to cook, I'm going to go ahead and scoop up some rice to start to prepare the dish. And some of you are wondering how I seem to get perfect rice all the time. It's not really me, it's the rice cooker. The rice cooker gives you almost perfect rice every time if you use the right amount of water. And the right amount of water varies. It depends on how much rice you have in there. But typically, like this is enough for like 2 people, but I'm going to eat it twice. And sometimes I eat the whole thing all at once because I'm a pig. But I will put the rice in there, and then I'll pour the water so it's approximately like a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, or sometimes 3/4 of an inch over the taller than the rice, depending on how much rice I'm cooking. For this amount of rice, which was, see, I didn't measure, but it's enough for 2 people, probably about 1 cup of rice. It'll make 2 cups of rice or 3 cups of rice. I will use like 1.5 cups of water. Basically, it's more like eyeballing it. Maybe one day I'll show again, but I've already shown it like hundreds of times on previous episodes where you watch me cooking in the van. It's the same. And then the rice cooker, you put it on high heat, and when it heats up and gets done, it actually pops up to warm, and the rice is perfect. You can see you don't have any burning at all. So I'm going to set this aside, and let's take a look at our liver to see what it looks like right now. And what we're going to do is, it is like pretty much cooked at this point. I know the liver is pretty much done. Liver doesn't take long to cook. It cooks very fast. But what we're going to do is kind of put the liver on top of the onion, so that the onion can basically caramelize a little bit under there and soften up. The onion is, I'm going to put it right there, right over the onion. There we go. So we've got the liver right on top of the onion. We still have it on high heat. And the reason for doing that is to keep the onion underneath the liver so that the liver doesn't burn. And the onion, meanwhile, is kind of searing a bit. Should be done in a few more minutes, and I will show you what the serving looks like, so stay tuned. I don't know if you can hear the rumble there. It is like a major storm had passed through here earlier. We've been having like crazy rainstorms, thunderstorms for the last 2 weeks. It's been making it hard for me to work on the RV because I couldn't go to Home Depot to get the parts, the panels and stuff, without it getting all soaking wet. Just to show you how wet it is outside, you can see it. Well, I don't know if you can see how wet it is, but it's wet outside. Trust me on that. It's been pouring rain out here. Also wanted to let you know that we are indeed almost caught up, and you can see these are episodes that are getting ready to air here very soon. I've been looking at RV power systems, and this episode will be airing here. Like, we just aired the mukbang episode where I eat the pork chop meal, and we're going to air this one here, and I'm debating if I'm going to run it tonight or tomorrow. But this is all very current. This is filmed like yesterday when I found out that I lost my job. Essentially, my job ended at the temp. Well, it hasn't ended. It will end pretty much at the end of this week. Right now it is Wednesday, so I've got Thursday and Friday, and then I think they want me to come in Monday to basically show the replacement, the new person that they hired for the job officially, where everything is and how to do everything, so that there's what do they call it, where you got one person there instead of like me where I showed up and there was nobody there. But they told me that they ended up hiring the other person because he had more experience, but I suspect it had to do with my nasty, ugly divorce and all the crazy stuff in my history that's been preventing me from getting a job for the past 10 years now. And frankly, I think the people there liked me, the people that I was working there with, because they were, they come up to me and tell me what a wonderful job that I'm doing. And even some of the customers, they said they notice it smells better, it looks cleaner, everything's like super nice since I've been there. But the company, the big company, ended up going with somebody else. And I think the workers that are there were pushing for me, but still couldn't get me, because what it comes down to is the people who make decisions aren't necessarily the ones who are at the facility, but ones way higher up, because we're dealing with a space agency, and my past and my credit rating and all this other stuff, it's all tied in together from a very ugly, messy divorce, and essentially it's keeping me from getting any decent job. So we're back with Spherian. I mean, I was always with Spherian, but I'm back in contact with Spherian. They haven't returned my information because the caseworker, the person in charge of my account, isn't working there anymore, which I found out once I tried to contact her. So hopefully Spherian gets back with me. If they don't, I'm going to be on my own. So cross your fingers, pray for me. I think the food is done, so we're going to go ahead and put together our serving. And then I may go ahead and do a mukbang on this, just because it seems like some people enjoy these shows, the mukbang episodes. So stay tuned and look for the serving. Here then is what my meal looks like for tonight. Looks very simple, but it should be a very pleasant meal. It is calf liver with onions and white rice. And for my drink, just simply orange crush. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and do the mukbang in a moment, but before I do, let's go ahead and do a quick taste test. I don't know if you can hear the sizzle in the back. I am cooking up the second set to take advantage since I had everything out. I will shut the heat off here in a moment and let this kind of sit a little bit. Flip it over and just kind of let that cook. The whole RV smells like cooking liver. Ugh. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and shut the heat off. This way it doesn't burn while I shut off our safety switch here, which will shut the power off and just kind of let it sizzle and cook out. And I will go ahead and turn on the air conditioning and do the mukbang here in a moment. But before I do, let's do a quick taste test. For those of you who don't want to watch the full mukbang, you can see the slice shows that it is indeed cut. I mean, it is indeed cooked. And yeah, I know, no knife for me. I'm going to take a big chunk of onion here. Maybe a little too big. Need a smaller chunk of onion. Well, maybe big enough. So we need onion and rice and calf liver. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Mmm. This is good stuff. It's actually pretty nasty, but it's good. Those of you who have never had liver, it's got this weird grainy texture, almost like, it's almost kind of like meat, but not, almost like paperish, and but kind of gooey, and it breaks off into little chunks and stuff like that. But yeah, the onion is kind of sweet. The meat is, it doesn't taste like meat. You know, the liver, it tastes like liver. It's a distinct taste and texture to it. But anyhow, we're going to go ahead and stop filming. I want to thank you all for joining me. Remember, if you haven't already gone over to the Pay It Forward channel, you want to do that. I am planning on doing a live stream there. Hopefully every Friday at about 5 p.m. Florida time, which is Eastern, I guess Eastern Standard Time. To have kind of a roundtable discussion type episode where we talk. The other thing is I do plan on doing some videos for that channel, even despite the situation with me losing my job. That's not going to change things. I mean, it is kind of, because my finances obviously took a major hit. I just found out about this yesterday, so I'm kind of rerouting finances at this point, because instead of rerouting money to go towards the Pay It Forward channel, I have to reroute most of it to go back to me to sustain me here for the next 2 months or two, to make sure I'm going to be okay. But I will be spending a little bit on the Pay It Forward channel to get it launched, and also to try to help some people out if I can. So thank you again. Those of you who are praying for me, please continue to do so. Pray that everything works out all right, and that the me actually not getting the job is the way it's supposed to go. Until next time, everyone, take care. God bless you all. Please stay safe, and remember, stay encouraged. Even when things look bad, they could get worse. Or they could get better. Hopefully they'll get better. Take care, everyone. God bless you all. Bye-bye now.